The short meta version is there's a lot of things happening, so you're getting this video instead. So let's just go into it. So one of these characters, the first one I'll be playing is already out, and I'm just going to be doing an Ath run to do an Ath run because it's easier that way for me. But as we get into Ath, World of Horror character exclusive custom characters, yeah, just making sure that the characters work. Of course, one of them has been out for a while, and the other one I'm planning to release later. You'll see when that happens. But Dexterity, Knowledge, Second Mystery, Takshisan, Strength, and maybe a Light check. But really, just get at least one video with a run or two in, because that makes me feel a lot better. That being said, because I've tested out pretty much everything, usually I just restart runs with certain status effects that show on custom characters at the moment, and if the game crashes, then I know I have to fix things. If not, then everything should be working, and after that depends on any human error on my side or elsewhere, because if you don't put the characters in the right spot, they won't load, and it is not your World of Horror installation place. So, Flood, Hell, Ward, Vigil, Painting. Unfortunately, I have a bunch of bad mysteries, but if nothing else, we get some runs in. But really, I just want to make sure there's nothing else, because especially during a recording, I might be more aware of certain things. And so even small pixels that look off may be something I want to fix. That being said, when I do work on characters, I usually try to make them, if they're not a character I made or an original character, then I would, I usually try to do my research and look into how the art is made. For example, this character in particular, funny enough, obviously there's some anatomy going on. You do have to know or be aware of the anatomy that exists, but there are special things like one side of their body is usually bigger, especially if they're standing with their side to the point of view of what you're drawing for this character specifically. I think I can try to run from this. Do I want to? 35%? This looks bad. In the interest of maybe doing better, though, because this is a beast-type enemy. We'll see if it stops. Or other things like the eyes of this character's eyes are 1/3 of their head, and the other third is their forehead. Small things like that eventually contribute to making the character look like what they're supposed to be like. Now, that being said, that's not to say that people who make characters that are based on other IPs, and let me just make sure I'm not going to get holes here. I mean, it won't really matter too much, but if you have your own style and you draw characters for any game, really, not just World of Horror, then so be it. That's your style. It's just that when I'm trying to, use mods or something, or make my own mods, I usually try to, what's the word? Not exactly emulate, but basically stay as true to the source material as possible. Now, that does, on a meta point, not really help my own style, but I think it does pretty well here, at least, because I am working on other projects, and they may not seem as great. I'm gonna get Frostbite here, but so be it. We did fail the Vigil as well, but I'm gonna try to take experience, because this character at least has good perks, as opposed to the next character, who will not have as fun perks. But it's still funny enough kind of equal, although it depends on the settings. However, this character in particular, if we're to move back to the balance and away from, how I designed the character, which, again, the press kits are available. The last thing I'll say on that is the press kits are available for games, so those are public things that I can at least use to help, again, create things, if basically just make fan fiction, because that's basically what we're seeing here. So, okay, but in terms of the balance, though, this character does work really well. I'm gonna avoid name dropping, because usually the only reason I would, or no, I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. That doesn't sound right. But okay, onto the balance. But yeah, this character in general, their stat spread, while their strength is lower than what I'd personally like, it's more than workable for what we have. I did fix the Frostbite, right? I did. So, let's do some Doom here, because I have a lot of Doom. And, again, if I get to level up, you'll see the perks. If they come. They're quite good. If I can remember off the top of my head, I think I even have Fast Swimmer. Yeah, I have Fast Swimmer and question mark Discipline? I can't remember exactly. I also have Core Strength as well. So again, those two, I think 2 perks for sure are definitely good. And then the stat spread, again, isn't bad. This character doesn't suffer from any low stat, save for Strength, but if I build, for me personally, I like building into Strength. That's not something I, did because I like Strength. That's just literally the thing. Even though you could argue for this character in particular, she is quite powerful physically, but in the context of World of Horror, if for nothing else balanced, but I thought in this case it would fit better if it was a bit lower. So, hey, and yeah, you can, with the perks that this character has, I promise you, it more than makes up for it. That being said, I don't have a pair of handcuffs, but we're probably just going to run away from this encounter here. We already ran into a hospital encounter, so I'm probably not going to run into Doll Nurse. We did get branded, but so be it. As long as I don't get fetid fumes, I think we're perfectly fine. So let's find out. But yeah, otherwise not much else to say. Let's level up here. Yeah, I'm actually going to reroll. So we get Improvise, and I think Fast Hands as well, but I mean, I'll take it. It's better than nothing, and I'll build into Strength. But aside from that, if I didn't say it already, as we run from this encounter, once you get the first 5 minimum images down, usually the rest of the character, mainly the status effects, come before that. For me, the longest part of making a character is literally the art, because, well, it turns out presentation and or graphics here is really important in this specific instance of making characters to play in World of Horror. So, as we get into Flood here, so as I said, I mentioned it in one of my you can search, I think you search the word minimum in my channel and you'll find said video of me talking about the bare minimum you need to get a character rolling. Now, they are the meat and potatoes of making a character, because writing up the code for the character's lore and whatnot, assigning their stats, assigning them perks, you can think about those and it can take some time, but to me at least, it's a lot to try and make the artwork as opposed to making everything else. Now, if I were to make character events and mysteries, that would probably be just as long as me making the art, but as long as I can get the bare minimum down, which are the main, maybe a costume bee, but that's not required, the main image, which is what you see here, the chibi image, which is, easier because there are so many pixels that you have to work with, the home, where the home avatar, which is seen on the character select screen, and when you're at home, and the back image, which is what you see when the character turns their back and you're looking at the mysteries. I think that's it, right? Home, back, oh, and the icon, but that's, again, the icon is only so big, where if you really want to be lazy about it, it's something I do usually to put templates on, but I just shrink the character's face into the icon dimensions. And there you go, you have a quick icon. But otherwise, it's really just the main, because the main determines how you're going to make your status effects. If you don't have your main image, this image, you can't properly align the mask, properly align low stamina, low reason graphics, so on and so forth. And for this character in particular, as I pretty much just go all out here, it was a bit of an ordeal, because I had to get the size right, because if the size isn't right, and usually I try not to interfere with the UI, so at first I made this character too big, and the hair kind of clipped into, we'll say if you got double digits, it's usually not too much of an issue. Am I gonna die here, actually? I shouldn't. And so I had to shrink it, but if you just go monkey brain and shrink with, whatever image software you're using, you end up with not nice pixels and kind of staircase pixels, which looks really jarring. Now, no, staircase pixels are not always bad, but in certain cases, in most cases they do, because it's usually a matter of, the boundaries of your character, their hair, their body. If you have staircasing going on, it doesn't look right. Now, obviously, if, say, clothes meets the, the skin of the body of the character, then that's another thing entirely, but I could just get out. No, I can't, actually. I can't. I can throw the Ritual Mask, right? That does 4 damage. I think this does 4. I have Improvise, right? I does. So, let's do this and get out. I am very hurt, but we'll level up into something. I didn't even check the Lighthouse because I don't really care as much. You know what? I'm just gonna stick with... No, I'm gonna reroll once. I'm gonna reroll again, actually, because now I'm just curious. Oh, we have Fame. Never mind. Smooth Talker, Anxious Athlete. But that gives us Core Strength eventually, but I'd never rolled it, so... Improvise and Fame it is. I do have a dog with me, right? Or was that... No, that was a previous run. I was testing a lot of things out before this recording, so... My memory's gonna go. That being said, Painting or Household Hell? You know, it would be nice to pass Household Hell, but we'll do Painting and then hope we don't get hurt too much. We can still run, right? Yeah, we're on Ath, so we can run if we need to. The events, on the other hand, again, our stats aren't that bad, but we are on Harbinger. Normally, I test characters out on Cultist, if for no other reason than it's quicker to set things to Cultist and go in to test graphics, but otherwise, if I'm doing an entire run, right before I deploy a character and after I deploy a character, as a dog barks in the distance, I can't do anything about that, but I usually, you know, I wrap the character up, then I extract it into my character folder. My mistake, I can do something. That something is called pausing the recording. I'm also recording this a lot earlier than appears to be, but yeah, completely forgot what I was saying, even though I've only been gone for like a few seconds, but we're still gonna run, that's for sure. And I forgot what I was saying. If I remember it, so be it. If not, if you want to hear what I was going to say, I mean, I'll hear it myself in the future, but as I'm recording now, you're not gonna get an answer, it seems. So... we will plan to do 2 runs still. That's the bare minimum here as we get out. And we should be able to rest like 4 times, really. Unless I have fetid fumes. I'll rest regardless we need to. But, hey. Basically, if nothing else, to go off tangent, Fame and Improvise are not terrible perks compared to other perks that exist in the game. That are character exclusive or belong to a perk pack. Why did I prepare? I didn't mean to prepare. Too late. But I want to rest here, because that's going to be the most I can do for my Doom, for HP. And I never got these handcuffs, so let's actually visit the... or put the patrols in the mansion, and move on. Oh, what I was talking about is deploying the character. So before I deploy a character, you know, zip it up in an archive, and then put it on the internet, I extract it to my character directory, and then play them, and then right after I upload it, I do the same thing again. And because both my characters also come out in Japanese supported language, I also have to set the game to Japanese, and then I pretty much do a whole run, because at least I can get that much in without taking too much time. And if nothing else, again, testing out things. But if the graphics work for one language that's supported for your character, it should theoretically work for others. Also, I should have visited the monument, but again, you know, this is more than good enough to showcase things. I think I've gotten low stamina, low reason. I put on a mask that I threw, so everything should be fine. However, this... am I going to survive the run? That's a whole other story. I don't even want to fight this, but we're on 87% Doom, and we still have Branded, so... We don't need to do this, but I'm going to do it, because I need to. For the sake of HP. Otherwise, I could go for dodge plays, but that doesn't sound really great, so here we are, and we hopefully do one more attack, so we can just Desperate Prep Strong, because that took away a lot. Now, I should trade stamina for reason, but just in case we have stamina checks in the Lighthouse, you know, we still tried to survive here, and we didn't get much, so we're not going to get Strength to 7 or 8. We're not going to get Dexterity at 8, even with Quick Thinking, so we might as well just sit here and do this. Now, this character does... I didn't talk about it. I didn't talk about it, but this character does have Winging It and Doomed already, so there's kind of a... what is it? Dichotomy? Not diatribe. Dichotomy? Two sides of it, where you roll on events, and if you fail, you heal reason, at least, or get 1 reason. Otherwise, you pass and get extra experience, which is, again, I think personally a powerful combination. But still, funny enough, this is quite balanced for what we have in the game. Now, if you are working on an easier difficulty, you might see the power of this character to its extremities, but for the most part, it's not so bad. So we get Hunger there. Can I do anything? I actually should have... No, I couldn't have Desperate Action. Never mind. We just go for a dodge play. I'm just going to go for the dodge play. I shouldn't need to do this. I think I can even throw the flashlight if I feel... Yeah, I'm actually going to instead do this. And then we throw a Hail Mary. 95%, 85%. So, good. And unless we get some really bad RNG in this mansion here... Yeah, okay, well, never mind. We're just dead anyway. But I could queue out, but we'll go as far as we can. Maybe we get a Doom Decreasing Mansion event. Or maybe not. But basically, I should have used the mansion. I definitely should have used the mansion. And we'll move on to the next character, which I should be releasing, but probably not before the event of the day comes out. I guess it'll really depend. But both of these characters are also with the rest of the characters I released on the official World of Horror Discord server in the mod repository channel. You can search for my username specifically and then put in the word installation, and you should be able to find... It should be near enough an exact number of all the characters I have. I also died to stamina regardless, but hey, again, we're here to test things out. So just in case you want to know. Also, quick fact, the Bee costume for that character is based off of a game that the developers made. So, you know. But yeah, as we move into the second character, this character, you know, if I was going to be like this, I'd just go into Goizo. I could have gone to Ath, went into Goizo. A lot of graphics that, you know, don't give this character, you know, don't flatter this character a lot, but, you know, it is what... This character's taken worse in their series, so you know what? It's fine. And as you've seen, this character starts with Hot Bath and an experimental drug. You usually don't pick it up. I usually try to pick items or status effects that you don't normally get, so in this case, yeah, it's not the greatest healing item, maybe. I mean, it's good for immediate healing, but boy, does your max stamina go down, and if you're using Ghostly Spear, I mean, it's not terrible. It's not a terrible loadout. So as he put on Costume B, I'm not going to attempt to do what I was thinking of doing. I also should fix this, really, but this revolves around me. This needs me to scale down the character, so I guess I'll do that. That's fine. Otherwise, it's not the worst graphical bug, so as we get Teacher, Recluse, Ramen, Nails, Hell, I guess we're taking Nails first, and we need a weapon. So, we're not planning to rest because we're on Goizo, but if we need to, we have to. We'll do our best, though. This character's combat capabilities is heavily reliant on, for me, cigarettes, based on how I see. This character has the Obsessive Shopper and Petty Thief perk packs, so really the only thing you can try to do is combine looting with any of the two shopping perks and hope for the best. That's... I mean, you have to work with what you've got. We're gonna set things to the school, by the way. But then you have to level up as well, so that's why I gave this character hot. But I didn't want to give this character any more than I already did to him, so... yeah. And the same thing with the last character. I had trouble with... Usually I make characters too big, like even now... Yeah, you usually don't build into like 10, 11, 12 of knowledge and or charisma, but just in case you do, Costume B will kind of interfere. The regular default costume is fine enough, because if you have 14 knowledge or 14 charisma or something weird like that, 12 strength, 12 dexterity, 12 perception, you'll still be able to read the numbers, but Costume B is a bit much. But at the same time, as a test case, again, you're usually not building more than 10 into a stat on Harbinger. Now, on easier difficulties, maybe, but hey. Do I want to take just a bunch here? I can run. I could also roll on 82, 82. Yeah, I think we're actually just going to run. We only get, like, what, 10 experience from that encounter, so... hey. The one thing I did do, well, yeah, for sure, I usually, personally, like to test out low stamina and low reason together, just to see if any of the graphics look weird stacked on top of each other, but if you make the graphics right, you usually can circumvent any weird graphical things that you might see for custom characters, but hey. Also, with Force Strength, we really don't get much, so... I think we just eat damage to the face. Now, do I want to gamble on 65% on top of that? I probably have to, right? Let's see if I hit this. I do. Never mind. I think I actually go for... We're just gonna go for the Desperate Attack. Yeah, we're just gonna go for the Desperate Attack. Just in case there's something else to handcuff. I didn't really remember again. I'm just doing some fun runs here, just to test things out. But as I missed 2 kicks in a row, I think. Was that 2 kicks in a row? I'm shaking my head silently right now. Yeah, I missed 2 kicks in a row. 2 90% kicks. Were those 2 90% kicks, by the way? Actually, there's no way I didn't do a attack boost, so I literally got a 1% chance. But anywho, that doesn't help this character because this character has no direct buff to combat. Again, if you combine spending with cigarette use in this game, then, I mean, lore-wise, it could make some sense, right? But, anywho. Also, you might have noticed in the lore page during the character select screen, I probably should change the quote-unquote occupation of this character, but Vagrant/Vagabond does pretty well for now. Do I want to take Recluse? For knowledge? I have an experimental drug, funny enough, so we could. Is there anything else? Not right now. We'll take the hot bath. Why not? Really? Did I heal nothing, by the way? Why does that happen? Anywho, we'll move on. We do want funds, because if we level up and get a shopping perk, we might as well use it, right? So again, take the good where it's at. I wanted to talk about something very particular as I roll a 12 on dexterity, but that wouldn't fit this video, so I'll try to stay focused on, you know, the behind the scenes of these characters, which again, not really much else to say about the balance, gameplay. We level up and I'll show you when it happens. Otherwise, again, designing this character, making them, there are a few things that I really kept in mind as I made this character, because boy did I figure things out. Things like, usually this character's, the second eye that's closer to the middle isn't actually this far halfway, but again, part of that is because I had to, for the main image here, I had to squeeze the character in, because otherwise he goes into the UI and that's not, I think I would rather have the UI a bit clearer than have the character be 99% accurate in terms of their graphics, which is what you can see in the home screen. It looks quite accurate in my opinion, but here, obviously in the main screen, he's a bit squished, but here it looks a lot more normal, obviously, but hey. And then obviously, again, the word, low stamina, low reason is a heck of a thing to have fun playing with, because I've just stuck all my, I think there's like this is supposed to be some kind of bladed thing stuck in his body. That's just a wound. There's some sweat because of low reason, and then the tired eyes. Again, did some research because I had to remember things here and there, but I think I did an okay job. Kind of a bruised lip here, a bump here, that has to be, I have to kind of be careful because anything that goes outside of the character could look really off when graphics stack, like a mask or something, but I think for the most part, those are taken care of. Although I haven't put on a mask, so when I put on a mask, I think this bump actually sticks out. I'm not sure. But while we're here fighting this apartment stalker, I'll actually save the handcuffs for the semi-boss at the end here. To that end, I'm going to do my guaranteed kick action, because we have 5 strength. But I also want to grab a pack of cigarettes, so I think I'll do that right after this, because now we need our combat to be a lot better than it is right now, so. And there's a chance bad things could happen, so let's grab 2 packs of cigarettes now. And my doom will lower for it. I think I just want to actually sell it. I'll risk a Witch Tree use. If nothing else, maybe we get something that shows up on the character. It doesn't, but could have been. And we'll grab cigarettes, and this might last me the whole run. I might need another pack. But we'll see. We'll see if we get another pack. We'll grab some items again and move on. But this is basically my strat for this character then. I didn't really think about it, but since I'm, if nothing else, I'm someone who loves working with cigarettes, also this character's luck is supposed to be 6, ignore the 5, then it makes more sense for me to use it, and I feel more confident in using it. But as we get the dullness instead, let us make the most of it. Unfortunately, both Fast Hands and Improvise are not on the same perk pack, but I think that might be a bit much. Because Fast Hands is part of Anxious Athlete? Was it Anxious Athlete, or was it the other one? No, because the other character had Anxious Athlete and Smooth Talker, which results in, I think, Improvise and Fame, ? And that's where Improvise comes from? Am I going crazy here? I'm going crazy here, aren't I? Yeah, so I don't think we actually have any of the two... Yeah, because... I'm trying to remember. I could look it up, but I'm testing out my own knowledge while we're sitting here waiting for Improvise, so... Yeah, I feel like Improvise is Smooth Talker. And then Anxious Athlete gives Fast Hands. So funny enough, this character has none of those. But instead we get... Oh, Looting and Pickpocket. Looting and Pickpocket are the Petty Thief perk pack perks. And then the Obsessive Shopper perks are the 2 shopping perks. So one that decreases your due by 2 for buying an item, and the other is a chance at refunding 1 fund when buying an item. But the problem with that perk pack usually is that you need to level up twice before you even use shopping, and most of the time, 98% of your shopping happens before the run even starts with any investigations, so that's that. But there are very, very specific cases. The most common use case is buying cigarettes from the vending machines if you enable them, but that depends on if you enable vending machines. But if you're working with a character with shopping perks like this, then you might want to think about it. Again, you have options, basically. And not just cigarettes. But anywho, let's get out of this encounter and into a new life. So what I basically want to say is, yeah, we can't Fast Hands into anything, but what we can do is hope we don't die to events as we roll a 12 on luck. So it didn't matter if my luck was 6. But we have Goizo, right? So I don't even want to rest. I think I have to once here. I have no choice. I feel like I'll be taking more than 4 to 6 stamina damage. That being said, I could have gone for Restless, but instead we're just going to eat this in the face. So yeah, we didn't need to rest yet, actually. We'd be at 1 stamina, theoretically. But hey. We're here. Also, I need to censor the screen, but I should have it ready. I'll also have these, so I didn't need to actually take damage. I'm going crazy. It's fine. It's fine. I didn't even need to throw 2 of those. But hey, if nothing else, the character themselves working as they do, I should have also unequipped the monkey wrench. Actually, we have the cigarette, so we're fine now. But for now, the nicotine rush buff is providing us the ability to make this a much nicer boss fight. But as we continue through the boss fight and into the last 2 mysteries, and I remove the sensor, yeah, it would be nice to have better combat, but we don't get that. So, big spender here. If I need another pack of cigarettes, maybe. Otherwise, I should take Pickpocket, funny enough. But I need 6 strength to get some monkey wrench plays going, so let's do that. I think I had an empty bottle too, so all I did was just hurt myself. If nothing else, the stuffed toy will give us a way to cure nicotine withdrawal. And yes, I only remember that because I looked into the storage and saw that I had a thing. Also, quick note as we go back to talking about the custom character for a hot moment, and I take stamina from the Witch's Tree, is that this chibi here, I noticed that as I went back to this character's place of where they came from, this character doesn't have a sideways sprite, so literally this little 45-degree drawing graphic here is probably the most accurate we have in terms of a sideways animation. But let me know if I'm wrong, because I have to set these police patrols to the mansion and concentrate. So, yeah. We'll go in here. What, really? Is this the second time? No, this was only the first. I think I'm dead here, but I shouldn't have taken that. But I had to roll a 4 on Charisma anyway. There's no way out, is there? Nope, there's no way out. So, without further ado, again, this character should be out later, within 12-ish hours. But, again, I'm trying to make a Japanese version. I haven't coded or typed that file up yet. So, that'll be what happens. But otherwise, I think to survive, we just have to take one of these. Now, we're not going to cast any spells, but we did lose 2 strength. I keep thinking, I thought I was dead there because I always take give up. I shouldn't think like that, but I did. We get an empty bottle here, but I'll just throw that for more extra damage, or more damage. 6 dexterity, but of course we're gonna fail that, because why not? And we'll move on. I think we get out of this still. Yeah, we do. With the power of Desperate Monkey Wrench, even if we didn't, if we had a regular 4 damage weapon, we'd still get out. Now, if I had anything else that did 3 damage, could have been a bit different, but I think we still get a good chance to hit into a kick if needed be, because that would do... No, that wouldn't do enough on a small weapon. Never mind. I'm going crazy. I should heal here, all things considered, though. So if I psyched anyone out and they left the video because I said that stuff in Frostbite Land, excuse me. I should also pick up this brick, but I don't feel like it. You know what? For dexterity, we'll do this. I should also... Again, I forgot to take out the empty bottle. Let me take that out really quickly. Don't stare at me, sir! And then we'll move on. I will heal stamina instead here, funny enough. But into ramen I go, and we could... Yeah, we'll grab this just to try and level up quicker. This is our last mystery, so as long as we can reach the lighthouse, we might be fine. I don't remember any of my lighthouse checks because I was just rushing through, but if we survive, that would be nice, because then at least, yes, this is a relatively easy run, Goizo World of Horror backstory, but I could have said the same for Ath World of Horror for the previous character, and I died there, so you know what? Fair. I actually got farther, if we're looking at the number of mysteries I did, but hey. So I should heal reason here, but we are gonna hope we don't lose any more reason as I proceed to lose reason here. We don't die yet, but we'll deal with it. Oh, that's right, we have Hot Bath. I forgot about that. So Goizo isn't as bad for this character. Anywho, we roll badly on luck, so never mind. And hopefully we get out soon. We're actually gonna trade stamina here. And I need to remember to take out this smelly meat before I finish this mystery. So, I can't remember at the moment. I know I've done the calculations before, but does Hot Bath rest... Do Hot Bath rests on Goizo... Are they more efficient than resting at the lighthouse? I want to say yes for some reason. I could try to calculate that in my head as I autopilot here. So 5 Doom for 3 stamina, 3 reason. Yeah, 6 HP for 5 Doom compared to the lighthouse's 1 for 1. I think it is actually... Well, again, strict number-wise, I forgot to fill my empty bottle. Whatever. It's better. Also, we're about to get the nicotine withdrawal, so let's grab the stuffed toy. If we have the handcuffs, we should actually take out the handcuffs as well. Well, yeah, let's find out if we survive. So, I'm just gonna ascend this lighthouse and leave things be. I'm gonna look at my stats if possible, but I know I passed a dexterity check, so we should be fine stamina-wise. But I do need to take these handcuffs out. So, let's rest once and move on. And then we use the stuffed toy to get rid of nicotine withdrawal. Question mark? Yeah. And away we go. So we should be just fine, basically. With all the jank that happened in this run, we should be fine. Recluse is my second mystery. If it wasn't, I'd be going crazy. And yeah, funny enough, we survive with a character that has not... Well, yeah, they have healing in Hot Bath and the experimental drug for immediate 4 reason. Which is a kind of thing you could talk about. If you have healing items, you essentially have more HP on Harbinger. That's just, I mean... You do. unless they're on Eldritch Parasite, but that's strict balancing things that happen here and there. So, without further ado, hey, as I said, this is a quick behind-the-scenes video because things happen, and if you want to support my channel long-term, please subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, I'll see you later. Thank you for watching. Bye!